Welcome back.
We're back.
You thought you could get rid of us.
You couldn't.
I'm sorry. We're like that one stain that doesn't come out. No matter how hard you try. Rosa and the rest returned from the chapel to the parlor in the mansion. So many things had happened since early in the morning. Of course they were high-strung. Battler and George, who had cried, raged, and let their emotions explode after seeing their parents' tragic bodies, returned to the parlor and sat in the sofas, dazed as though everything up until then had been a lie. Only Maria was completely unchanged and looked just like normal. I don't know what the endgame with Maria is yet.
Yeah.
I still have no idea. But there's something. There's maybe several things. When she wasn't playing pranks, she was basically a kid who played wordlessly by herself. So even if she was dazed, she would probably look just as she did. But as she turned on the TV and flipped through the channels, it looked as though nothing about her had changed from normal. Did Rosa think anything in particular about this attitude, which was clearly different from normal people? She stared at Maria's back as though looking at something that wasn't quite heartwarming. Eventually, Kumasawa came by to say good morning. Oh, good morning. How were the murders? How was it out there in the killing fields? Her cheerful manner was clearly out of place, and she couldn't help but be bewildered by the strange atmosphere in the room. Excuse me. Then when she heard the details from Goda, she reacted loudly with a shock. Of course, you've contacted the police, right? What should we do in a time like this? Oh, what should we do?
Please calm down and listen. It seems a machine somewhere was somehow done in by lightning last night. Because of that, we haven't been able to use the phone.
What? Until the typhoon passes, we can't even contact the police? Maybe Kumasawa's exaggerated surprise was a little comical. Even in this kind of situation, Rosa giggled. Because of that, the fog of confusion that had covered her head cleared up a little.
I've got to stay strong. It's not just Maria. I'm acting as a parent for George-kun and Battler-kun too, so I have to stay strong.
Rosa had been the youngest sibling with a large difference in age between her and the others, so she had always been treated as a child. Every time she learned something new, it was something obvious to her siblings, and she had built up a complex, becoming convinced of her own incompetence. So she had developed passive personality, asking her siblings for advice every time something happened. But she no longer had any brothers or sisters. Now Rosa was the only one of the 4 Ushiromiya siblings left. Furthermore, if Kinzo continued to shut himself away even in this extraordinary situation, Rosa would have to surpass this crisis as the head's representative.
I'm not a child anymore, not a child.
Rosa slapped her knees lightly and stood up. She must not wait for orders now. She had to start moving herself. She picked up the receiver of the extension phone on the side table. Then she immediately remembered that the phones were down. Genji and Shannon, whom she had sent to see Kinzo, hadn't returned yet. She had a good guess at what was going on. He was probably yelling something nonsensical again and becoming unmanageable. His precious chapel had been defiled with blood. That was easy to imagine. She had planned on using the extension phone to call the study, but unfortunately the phones were down. Didn't they? Oh, I guess it just because they were cut off from the outside doesn't necessarily mean like the intra-house phone. Okay, that's fine. Rosa decided to go to the study directly with her own 2 feet. Her old self would have been too frightened to go see Kinzo, and in fact if she did meet him, she would probably be blamed somehow and insulted. But this was no time to be frightened. As his true daughter, she had to make him aware of the current situation.
Kumasawa-san.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Yes, it is. I'm going to see father. Take special care of George-kun and Battler-kun. I'm sure they're on edge right now.
Oh, yes. Oh, that may be true. It's truly pitiable. I shall make them something warm to drink.
Thank you. Make them some mackerel tea.
Oh, that sounds delightful. Have you ever had mackerel tea before?
No, I haven't.
They make it out of real mackerel. You'll have a mackin' good time. That's what it says on the side of the tin. Rosa went out into the hallway and headed towards Kinzo's study. The atmosphere in this mansion, which she'd spent her younger days in and should have been full of memories, seemed somehow different. She began to climb the stairs in the entrance hall. Just then, faint darkness down the stairs behind Rosa's back. Something glowed. It was a single fluttering gold butterfly. It fluttered around and sparkled. That butterfly danced about without a sound. It was only natural. No one can hear the sound of a butterfly's wings beating. Actually, if you put up a microphone right next to a butterfly, you'll find you actually can hear the sound of a butterfly's wings beating. Turns out it sounds kind of like the amen. That's the kind of beat it is.
I see.
Get it?
I see.
Rare kinds of butterflies actually sound like a block rocket beats. I can keep this joke going.
Yeah, you can.
I'm not going to, but I could. That wasn't meant to be meta battler anyway. That was just my generic, like, excuse me, in Just Glasses voice. Then it came to a rest on Rosa's back as she slowly climbed up the stairs. Rosa didn't notice it. If someone not in the know saw it, they'd probably assume it was just a single sheet of gold leaf in the shape of a butterfly that had been stuck there. Without noticing a thing, Rosa continued heading towards Kinzo's study. Oh, this is how Beato gets in.
So, how will you entertain me with this next one? There are still many, many pieces left.
No fair using the butterfly exploit. That's a known bug that's going to be patched.
It's called chaos theory, bro.
That's not what...
Something butterflies wings beat. Chaos theory. I read that one book.
Yeah? Well, I've got chaos control.
All right.
Oh, it did work. In the parlor, which had fallen silent again, the only sound was that of the TV that Maria was watching alone. If there was anything audible besides that, it was the sound of the rain, which had continued on and on since the previous night. Every one of those who had witnessed that unearthly and horrible scene stayed silent, so praying that the events of that morning had all been a dream. Because Kumasawa alone hadn't seen it, her reaction was slightly different. The silence itself seemed to be more unbearable to her, and she was anxious to encourage everyone somehow. However, she was aware that she must avoid saying anything careless, and she seemed to be pondering how she could be most helpful. Normally it would be time for breakfast. However, possibly because something so outrageous had happened, Goda seemed to have forgotten to prepare a meal. Or maybe everyone was so beaten up that they'd forgotten their hunger. Kumasawa wanted to bring up the subject of what they should do for breakfast, but it didn't seem like the right atmosphere, so she really couldn't. But she really was hungry, so she casually made a proposal.
Oh, it seems everyone is tired after all that has happened. Time suggests I think the best thing is to heat yourself with some warm black tea.
That is an excellent plan. I agree as well.
How about some delicious black tea with biscuits and jam? Ah, yes, I hear Halloween will be here soon. We have delicious-looking pumpkin cookies on the shelf.
Oh no!
It's okay. I got them fresh.
Kumasawa-san, that's...
Of course she had said the wrong thing. She reminded Battler and the rest about that horrible and tragic Halloween party in the chapel. Nancho hurriedly whispered into Kumasawa's ear.
Battler-san, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I truly didn't.
Don't worry about it. I'll definitely turn this boiling anger back on the culprit.
I wonder if that culprit is still on the island.
Probably. At least until the typhoon passes, no boat will come.
Yes, that's true. After all, the boats stop coming even when it's just a little windy. They certainly wouldn't come during a typhoon, yes.
It creeps me out.
You think so, Aniki? Me too. And that's even putting aside whether the culprit's that mystery that guessed or not. We all know it's her, but we're just pretending we don't. For some reason.
Spoilers. I haven't figured out who does it yet.
Ito's over here trying to figure out the mystery. Like, who could it be? She's stabbed, like, knife deep in someone's torso. Like, oh my, this is such a mystery. I think this is probably George, right?
Yeah. Indeed, we've naturally suspected the mysterious guest who calls herself Beatrice, but we still cannot be certain she is the culprit. There is still the possibility she's a victim whose corpse still hasn't been found.
Yeah, okay, that's reasonable. Yeah.
When I think of it that way, there's something I just can't understand.
What do you mean by that? I'm very concerned here with my mitten hand. That, now that I'm looking at the position of it, almost assuredly means I'm going to get a D-sword.
Like, just conservation of detail, right?
Conservation of D-sword, you mean?
If the sprite has their arm in that very particular thing, they're probably getting a D-sword.
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he's just Napoleon.
Maybe, that's true. Well, if he was Napoleon, then it would be in his jacket, not out front. It's simple. Just like Kumasawa-bachan said a while ago. Right now, this island is right in the middle of a typhoon, and escape is impossible. Same goes for the culprit. In that case, having the crime come to light should have been the thing the culprit wanted to avoid most.
Sure. So there was no need to draw that creepy magic circle on the entrance to the chapel and show off the fact the corpses were there.
Yeah, that's it. And if they were able to take the time and effort to do something so horrible to those 6 people, it should have been possible for them to hide the 6 corpses where they'd be impossible to find.
Very good.
Is this Goda or is this...
I have no idea.
That brutal Halloween party probably wasn't directed at those who died. It was directed at the people who eventually discovered.
That's probably George.
Okay, I agree. That brutal Halloween party probably wasn't directed at those who died.
We don't really talk that often about it, do we?
It was, directed at the people who would eventually...
Oh no, I did the thing.
It was directed at the people who would eventually discover it. Us. Probably safe to say the magic circle was there to help us find it.
Culprit knows they won't be able to escape this island for a while. And yet they acted as though they wanted to make us find the corpses in the middle of this typhoon. What does it mean? If I were the culprit, I definitely wouldn't play around and make us find the bodies.
Beatrice someone was not in the room. The room did not seem particularly disturbed. Ah, no, my lady did disturb it quite a lot, though.
Come to think of it, what happened to Jessica?
Con and Son is looking after her. They're probably in my lady's room.
That isn't good. The culprit is definitely still on the island. In this situation, I don't believe it's a very good idea to isolate ourselves in small numbers.
Oh, sure, now you're thinking that. Where was that thinking last go-round, huh? You're all like, oh, let's all split up. That'll be the best way to... Yeah, fuck off.
What do you mean by that? Oh, you don't mean to say the culprit plans to kill all of us?
But remain calm. That is not yet certain.
But unfortunately, we can't deny the possibility exists. This letter was in the chapel. According to this, the culprit is the witch. And if we don't solve the riddle of Grandfather's epitaph and find the gold, they'll massacre the whole family. Or something like that.
Oh, is that true? Oh, would you allow me to read it as well?
As they read the witch's letter, Goda, Kumasawa, and Nanjo's faces grew even paler than they had been. Kumasawa could no longer hide her shaking.
This is the sound of me shaking.
It sounds much like your other sounds.
I don't have many sounds, okay? I'm an old lady. Why are you making fun of me? Respect your elders.
All right.
If you don't want to die, try finding Grandfather's hidden gold. Is that it? Screwing around with us. I'll bet she can't solve the riddle, so she's trying to make us solve it. Who is talking here?
Oh no.
There's probably one of the servants, right? I'm just gonna go with Goda.
However, I wonder what the truth is. Madam always stated the legend of the gold was nothing more than an illusion created by the master. It's doubtful whether it actually existed.
True. Supposedly they thought it would be nice if it did exist, but only half believed it. Oh no, this is Nanjo, bro.
So, supposedly they thought it would be nice if it did exist, but They only half believed it. The relatives started believing in the legend of the gold only after Kenzo's health worsened and the inheritance problem came up. Until then, hardly anyone believed in it, I understand.
Oh, so maybe that's why. Do you remember on the table in the chapel? There were 3 gold ingots. That alone would be worth quite a lot. Doesn't that prove that the legend of the gold was real?
Excuse me, please wait. Just now, did you say there were 3 gold bars?
Yeah, there were definitely 3 of them piled up. So what?
I happened to hear Crash Summer say something once.
Oh.
Yes, just happened to hear it, you see. It's not like I was trying to listen in on secret discussions. No, indeed.
Don't you worry about that now. So then what? There's something wrong with there being 3 of those gold bars?
Yes. According to Crash Summer, there was only 1 bar ever found to support the legend of the gold.
That's correct. I believe Kenzo showed the president of Marusu a mountain of gold and let him take 1 bar back with him. That's what the story goes.
That 1 bar came to be in Crash Summer's possession. He said that no other gold supporting the master's legend of the gold existed.
You're talking about Uncle Kraus here. So what does that mean? No, wait, 3? Wait, where did they come from? That's too many, right?
Perhaps there's another explanation. Maybe the other relatives also found one each, and they each brought 1 of them here. No, I can't believe that. When all the relatives came to the mansion, I was entrusted with their luggage. I did not feel a suspicious weight back then.
I think those would weigh about 10 kilograms. If that much weight was in their bags, they'd be 10 kilograms heavier. Even I would notice.
Wow, Aniki, you're so smart.
But it didn't seem that way.
Same here. At the most, there were some changes of clothes, a first aid kit, Curious-san's makeup. Stuff like that, I think.
Not like I went through everyone's.
Don't worry about it. Aunt Rose's luggage also looked pretty light.
In that case, those 3 piled up gold bars were being shown to them, or maybe to us. The legend of the gold is definitely real. It isn't an illusion. They're telling us to try and find out the secret if we can.
Could they be scheming to have us solve the epitaph, which points to where the gold is hidden and then try to snatch it away?
Yeah, that does make some sense. But there are a couple parts that don't fit. To start, our parents, who should have been the most likely to solve the epitaph, were killed first. Seems to create a contradiction right off the bat to me. Hold on. I need to press for more evidence.
Oh my god, I just realized right off the bat is totally a baseball metaphor.
Yeah?
I didn't know that. It's one of those things that's always just been a set phrase. I never thought about what it meant.
Fair enough. I mean, there's a ton of those where you're just kind of like, oh, these are just the words. I never really think about them.
Yeah.
And something else makes even less sense. The legend of the gold is actually true, then how were they able to pile up all that gold? It's almost like the culprits already found the gold, and is telling us to try to find it too.
Maybe the culprit found those 3 like Uncle Kraus did. Maybe that convinced them that the legend is true, and they're trying to make us search for the rest.
Hey, Beato. Hey, Beato, I've got a question.
Yeah?
Got a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you already know where all the gold is?
No.
Really? Is that true?
It was like more than 5 minutes ago.
Oh, I get that. It's very hard. Sometimes it's very hard to put stuff in long-term memory unless you specifically... I get that a lot. However, I think that is a side effect of my depression. That seems to be more of a side effect of you smoking that magic pipe. Speaking of which, can I have another hit?
Sure.
All right.
I think that way fits the best.
Sorry, I had to stop talking there for a moment so we could hear other voices go on. Does anyone else hear that? No, just me. All right. The pieces on the chessboard aren't lined up at all. We don't have a clue what the culprit is planning, what they want, or what they want to make us do. Is there any point? No matter what we think, is there anything we can figure that out right now? Oh, I've got it! I've got the Prima guide right here. Let me just flip through. Oh! The gold's just right there.
Wow!
Look, you want to see it? There's a map.
Wow!
Yeah.
You've cheated the game and yourself.
Fine, I will put away the guide for now.
It's written down.
Oh, that she's got Kumasawa voice. Jeez, I'm doing like every voice in this scene. Okay,
Yeah.
give me a moment.
It was written down, but she wanted to make it through. Couldn't anyone read it?
Why? If Maria understands that to be the case, why is she not spending her time solving it? If anyone would instantly believe the gravity of it, it's her.
But she wants to go to the Golden Land.
Right. She wants to go to Golden
So
Land.
she's totally fine with getting killed.
Gotcha. Maria suddenly laughed in a creepy voice. I thought she'd been concentrating on the TV, but apparently she'd be listening in too. Which is good, because I needed another voice to do in this scene here. Without turning away from the TV, she very simply told us what we were forgetting.
Beatrice hasn't said once that she wants to go. All she's asking is whether you're all capable of solving the epitaph riddle or not. Though, bet she's pretty sure you can never do it.
So are you saying you can solve it, Maria?
I don't care. She'll take me to the Golden Land. Then we'll get Beatrice away. Ow!
Every time, imagine just Battler giving her like a smack upside the, like not like a like bad child, but just gonna give it a small like poof right upside that, and she's like, ow. In any case, it looks like we'll have to ask Maria if we want to learn anything more. Maria, tell us, who is this Beatrice? What is she planning?
Yeah. You know Beatrice is a witch. She can do anything with her strange powers. Power magic can do anything. She can create gold or bread. And of course,
Or golden bread.
Or
Or
golden-
breaded gold.
Oh, no one liked breaded gold. We tried it once. It wasn't that great. And of course, it could create sweets too, right? You saw it, didn't you? It's fine because they're still in the package. I don't know why everyone was freaking out about that.
Pulls more bloody chocolates out of her purse.
Did no one else go trick or treat? Just me. Okay.
Or slowly removes the lollipop from her mouth that's been in there the entire time. I don't know why she has SpongeBob laugh, but at that time, everyone jumped at the sound of a door being slammed shut. When we turned around, we saw that Rosa had suddenly returned, bringing Genji and Shannon. Then she rapidly approached Maria, her heel squeaking, and hit her on the cheek.
Stop talking about that. Battler-kun and the rest will take it badly.
They literally asked me. Badler literally came up and asked me to talk about it. You.
Without waiting for a response, she hit Maria's cheek once more. Oh, I get it. Because of her insecurity is about being treated as the child of the family, she feels she needs to assert extra authority over her own child to reestablish. I get it. Sorry, I'm a little slow on the cupcake. Everyone could only stand there, stunned.
I don't know what uwu means. What about yes?
You.
She mercilessly hit Maria's cheek again. Maybe Maria didn't feel like resisting after being hit twice. She weakly said,
Yes.
Rosa-san, there's no reason to be so harsh.
This is my daughter's education. Do not interrupt.
The atmosphere around Rosa, with Genji and Shannon standing at attention behind her, was somehow cold and yet dignified. Completely different from how she had seemed before she left. She was holding something that looked like a gun. I couldn't imagine she'd be holding a toy in this situation.
All right.
Alright, now we're at Umineko. If Rosa had a gun!
Aunt Rosa, what is...
This is an old-fashioned stick-em-up.
This is Father's. Because of the current situation, I borrowed it specially. Everyone should understand. The culprit is still nearby. We don't know what might happen. I agree. Rather than trying to figure out what the culprit is planning, it might be better to first think about our own safety.
You.
Father was fine, but he was considerably shaken by these sudden events.
I find it hard to believe she actually talked to Kinzo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind, I believe it now.
Fortunately, he said he won't leave his room, so he should be safe. For now, we should all try to stay together as much as possible. I'm really curious what actually happened when she visited Kinzo.
Yeah, it
'Cause
feels
it
like she might have got
matters. It's gonna matter.
Beatrice brainwashed.
Yeah.
Because Beidso was taking a little ride on the back there. Because how else were you supposed to get Like, did she demand that Kinzo open his door a little bit so she could verify? Because if that door was opened even for a moment...
And the other two, we know
Then,
it was
like-
because the other two came out.
Did they come out?
They were in there, remember?
Oh, they were.
Because they were serving Kinzo his drink and taking down his will.
That's true. I have a feeling that at least the servants, if only at Kinzo's direction, would be more careful about that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see Rosa not taking even like a moment to look around herself if... I agree, we don't even know where the culprit's hiding in. After all, there's no proof that there's only one of them.
It could be all of us.
I could be the culprit. It could be me, what am I gonna do, huh? Even though I said it myself, I shivered. That's right. Could a single person kill 6 people and set up such a horrible scene all alone? Isn't it natural to assume that this crime was carried out by multiple culprits?
I agree with Rosa. It is probably good for us to stay together.
Oh, yes, I think it's good too. Yes.
Maybe it's about time we called for Milady and Kansan.
That's right. Let's have them come down.
George Aniki tried to grab the extension phone, but Goda-san shook his head. That's right, the phones are down right now,
But Goda-san shook George's head.
aren't they?
Oh, syntactic ambiguity.
George, the phones are down.
Sorry, I hit Michael. Sorry, Michael. I'll go with a couple of people. George Aniki and Goda-san come too, that should be enough.
No, let's all go together. It's a wolves and sheep puzzle. If we're in balance while gathered together like this, then maintaining this situation will be safest.
A wolves and sheep puzzle.
You, I got it. I'll show you.
Maria, turn off the television. Genji-san, please tell me where Jessica-chan's room is. Let's all go together.
Yes. I will guide you.
Come on, everyone.
Come on, everyone! Follow the lady with the shotgun.
We'll move together. Follow my instructions. Or else.
Remain there and wait for my instructions. We stood up. Maria alone looked like she had some regrets about the TV, but she decided to go along with everyone for now and got up.
It's SpongeBob. I don't want to miss my SpongeBob.
That's fair. Shannon, thank goodness. I was a bit worried when you took so long to get back. I'm sorry to have worried you. The master ordered me to transcribe something for him. Transcribe?
Shannon.
I'm sorry, excuse me. I really want to know what happened in that room now.
Yeah, me too. And especially the part where Rosa showed up. Because Rosa came down with those two who were in the room with him.
Yep.
So clearly there was some...
And we did not see what happened, what the will was, or what happened after that point. And Genji also doesn't want Shannon to talk about it.
Right.
Something secret happened.
I'm good. We headed for Jessica's room, with the armed Aunt Rosa and Genji-san at the lead. Jessica and Kanekun were a boy and girl of about the same age. It'd sure be a shame if we barged in on them at a bad time, or at least of what we'd be joking about normally.
You will barge in on him at a bad time,
However,
known as too late.
Aunt Rosa was on edge, constantly exuding a sense of tension. So it definitely wasn't the sort of atmosphere for careless remarks like that.
Hey, don't fall behind. Everyone move together. We don't know when or where the culprit might leap out at us, right?
No, maybe Aunt Rosa's attitude was more appropriate. Since Grandfather hadn't come down, Aunt Rosa was our leader. This wasn't a situation where she could smile as she always did. And Aunt Rosa was a mother, too. She probably also thought that, if she didn't get a hold of herself, some harm might befall her beloved daughter. The culprit had killed 6 of our parents at once. The method they had used was unknown, but there was a good chance this opponent could take down a large number of people in a flash. Would that be with weapons or with numbers? Or with the magic of a witch? In any case, I couldn't think of any reason why it'd be okay to let our guards down. The rest of us had better take much, much greater care, just like Aunt Rosa.
Everyone, stop.
Aunt Rosa spoke in a sharp voice. Wondering what this is all about, we peered forwards, and immediately realized the reason. What is this?
Beep.
Everyone get back.
Goto-san and Genji-san approached the door. Beyond this door was probably Jessica's room.
This seems to be the same part that was scribbled on the door to the chapel. How come no one is calling it blood?
I know, right?
Why is no...
It's obviously blood.
It's obviously blood.
It's like none of you have licked it.
Why are you talking to me? Did anyone else hear that? Oh my god, I'm hearing voices. What is going on here?
It appears so. It seems not much time has passed since it was drawn. What the heck? Is that another magic circle? See, the thing is now, the people would naturally be most suspicious of Genji and Shannon and Rosa.
Yeah.
Since they were the last ones to come down.
It's the first magic circle of the moon.
Moon
Yeah,
prism power, make up. That's what it says.
Oh, it's my favorite show. It reminds me of my favorite show, Cardcaptor Sakura. It's the power to open unopening doors.
Drawn on the door to Jessica's room was the same kind of creepy scribble that had been drawn on the door to the chapel. That strange pattern must have had some occult meaning, but it didn't matter what that meaning was. We were worried about whether those two were okay.
That doesn't matter. Are Jessica-chan and Canon-kun safe?
Oh, that does not bode well. We should quickly bring the two downstairs. Milady! Milady! Are you there? Please answer!
Goto-san knocked violently and yelled, but there was no answer. He gripped the doorknob with a clatter, but the lock just resisted him. Rosa-sama, it appears to be locked.
There's no helping it.
I'll have to shoot it off.
Please open it up.
You want me to shoot it off? Genji nodded, and Goto quickly unlocked the door with the master key. In the back of my mind, horrible images floated up and disappeared one after another. A magic circle had been drawn on the door to the chapel. Behind that lay 6 corpses. So if there's a magic circle drawn on the door to Jessica's room, then beyond it must be...
6 corpses.
That math doesn't check out. I did it in my head. It doesn't check out.
Jessica-sama!
What happened? Is she there?
Jessica! What happened? It was truly heartless. The expression on Goto-san's face and his cry as he opened the door prepared us for the brutal fate that Jessica had met before we even saw her.
No! I told them not to bury their queers!
Wait, what?
Because we headcanon Jessica.
Oh, right.
Because of... This is our long-standing headcanon since episode 1.
I forgot. It's been like 5 minutes.
It's been... I think if you go back on the playlist, you'll find it's been much longer than just 5 minutes. Everyone rushed into Jessica's room at once. That scene told everyone that their worst fears were spot on. Jessica!
How horrible. Dr. Nanjo.
Inside the room, which seemed elegant for the bedroom of one so young, Jessica lay crumpled on the ground. There was a large pool of blood on the floor, and there was a knife or something sticking deep into her back. Was it a knife? There was a design on the handle that just had to symbolize something demonic. It had to be a weapon with some kind of occult meaning.
This is horrible. She has passed away. This has probably reached her lungs. That much time has probably passed since she died.
Jessica! Damn it! Damn it!
Adler-sama.
I was naive! I knew it! So the culprit couldn't escape the island? They were definitely close by, so why didn't I get cautious sooner? I was naive. Just assumed the culprit would commit the crime and just sneak away and hide.
We were stunned then. We thought Jessica-chan giving into rage and running off was just something that couldn't be helped. But we were naive. We should have stopped her. Goto-san, why did you leave those two alone? If only you had been with them, something like this.
My sword isn't as strong as... I mean, no, that is... I said it was dangerous, so we should return.
Now, what's interesting is, we haven't found Cannon's body.
Not yet. I'm assuming It's just because the scene had, like, they're about to be like, oh, his body's over here now, and they just know, yeah. But if it doesn't come up, then we should be wary.
Yeah.
But
It's just that milady said she wanted to be alone. Cannon-san told me to leave it to him, man. Speaking of which, where is Cannon-san?
That's right. What in the world happened to Cannon-kun? Cannon-kun, where?
Cannon-san should have been with milady. Where in the world did he go?
Oh, right, I remember. Because Beato was like, haha, you fuckers don't even get to die together. Yeet.
right, she yeeted him out of there. Oh, that's interesting, because now they're going to use Cannon as the scapegoat.
Yep.
Oh.
When he'll already be dead.
You don't think they got him?
Quiet. Someone might be hiding in this room. Search under the bed and in the closet.
There was a chance that Cannon-kun's corpse had been pushed away somewhere. At Rosa-san's order, everyone searched throughout the room together, but there wasn't a single human hiding anywhere.
What do you mean? There was probably a witch then? Is that there was a witch hiding somewhere? Is that what you're saying? Who's writing this narration? I need to have a word with them. Is it you?
No, no one knows who's writing the narration.
What? How do you not know?
That one's behind, like, the 8th wall.
Oh my god!
He's nowhere. Could the culprit have taken him out of the room? They'll have to search for him quickly and save him. Or if we're slow, something awful might happen. Aunt Rosa, let's search all over the mansion. Let's search for the culprit. Let's save Cannon-kun. Right. Battler would be the last to this one.
Quiet.
When Aunt Rosa yelled at us, we fell instantly silent. She was probably contemplating something. However, what in the world could that be? Aunt Rosa walked around the room as though looking for something, or as though she was collecting her thoughts. Then she found something on the side table by the bed and picked it up.
If anyone knows, tell me. Which key is this?
Aunt Rosa showed everyone a key with a cute mascot attached to it. Judging from its cute appearance, I don't doubt that it was Jessica's key, but I had no way of knowing for sure. It is probably the key to this room, to Milady's room. After hearing that, Aunt Rosa made a point of going outside the door and checking. Without a doubt, it was the key to this room.
I wonder why it was set in a place like this. Wouldn't you normally keep such an important key in your pocket? Milady wasn't in the habit of locking her room. It seems she would only do it when she went to school, because she didn't want someone like Kraus-sama to look inside her room. I see. She wasn't at school, so it's natural that Jessica-chan would set the key down.
I think
here.
they're setting it up to be like, then how come the key was inside of the locked room? But can't you normally lock those rooms from the inside as well?
Oh.
Or do you have to have a key from the outside to lock them?
How many keys can open this door?
Just the one milady had.
Can't it be opened with your master keys?
They can open it.
How many master keys are there? Are all of the servants holding them? Are there extras?
Yes. We all have one. As for extras, I wonder.
There used to be several, but Madam scolded us harshly, saying that was careless, so they should have been dealt with.
That is correct. There is only one held by each servant. There are no more.
Huh? Wait a sec. The vignetting has come back. I think we talked about extra master keys in the last game, right?
Indeed. Well, regarding that, I have noticed that having several master keys whose locations are unknown is quite disadvantageous for me.
Oh, you can retcon that kind of stuff? Holy shit! Holy shit!
I know, right?
That's probably right. Since you want to make me believe in magic using closed rooms, it really hurts you if there were more master keys than we thought. After all, every time a trick involving luck shows up, I plan to resist by just arguing the culprit had a master key that someone lost in past or a duplicate.
Yes, that's correct. So I've decided to make a move to defeat that. I'll update our setting. The only master keys are the ones held by the servants, 1 key each.
Ooh, you said it in red.
I
Ooh,
did.
That's very good. Messing with me, more importantly. What kind of move is this? What's Aunt Rosa talking about?
Who knows? You should try listening in.
But I can't. We're too busy here.
Rosa's totally going to blame it on Canon.
Absolutely.
Is what it's going to be, because it would have to be someone with the master key, and he had one, and his is the only one that we don't know the
He was
position
left
of right
alone
now.
with Jessica.
And he was left alone with Jessica.
Yep.
Jessica could have locked the room.
Mm-hmm.
The key was inside it. Someone with a master key would have had to kill her. It's canon. That's the line of reasoning, I think.
Well, yes. Yeah.
We know it's not.
Canon makes the most sense out of any of the servants.
We know it's not because we know there's a cool witch doing fun murder pranks, but...
Murder pranks starting now.
Thank you. I have the situation sorted out. And I've been able to pinpoint the culprit who assaulted Jessica-chan, or at least one of their accomplices.
What you say? Who is it? What is that you say?
On Rosa, you don't mean Canon-kun, do you? What? Why Canon-kun?
This is going to be Rosa explaining this.
This room was locked, and the only keys that can unlock it are the master keys, held by each servant, and the key Jessica had. But Jessica-chan's key was closed up in here, which means it's only possible that one of the master keys locked this room up.
It is as you say.
In that case, someone killed Jessica, then locked the door.
I do like the new gun though.
Yeah.
Yeah, very elaborate.
Got a specially designed gun to fit the Ushiromiya hands.
I heard them talking about that once. Do you know how hard it is to find a gun that will fit mitten hands? In fact, how are we even using these controllers?
I know, right?
My god! What am I supposed to do about the trigger buttons?
That person had a master key. And there are only 5 people with master keys.
Oh my. Oh, it wasn't me. It's not me. No, I could never do such a thing.
Kumasawa-san got up late after we returned from the chapel to the parlor. We did meet you there, but it's impossible to prove where you were and what you were doing until that time. Stand in front of my gun. You watched us from the shadows, chased after Jessica-chan and Canon-kun when they were isolated, and stealthily attacked them.
Are you saying
I don't think she's accusing her as much as leveling what the most plausible theory is at each of the servants one by one.
Yep.
Are you saying I visited my lady's room and did something so horrible? I did no such thing. Yes, no such thing.
What about you, Goda-san? You said you left Jessica-chan in Canon-kun's care and returned. But I wonder if that's true. Maybe you actually killed the 2 of them, hid Canon-kun's corpse, and then came back with an innocent look on your face.
Oh, nothing of the sort happened. I go to swear that I did not do anything like that.
Too bad he couldn't get that red text, huh?
It wasn't us. We were following the master's orders and... Yes. You and Genji-san alone are clean. That's backed up by what I heard from Father. The 2 of you were in Father's room the whole time, transcribing and witnessing for him. Father and I can guarantee that.
Thank you very much.
In that case, the argument becomes who is more suspicious, Goda-san or Kumasawa-san.
Really? She's not arguing that it's canon.
Interesting. I thought that myself, right after entering this room. But still, I found it strange. Look at the state of Jessica-chan's body. Doesn't everyone think it's strange? Jessica-chan was struck in the back. Come on, they say it all the time, right? That in crimes where the victim is struck in the back, there's a high likelihood that the culprit was someone whose face was known to the victim. She definitely wouldn't invite a person she didn't trust into her room and defenselessly expose her back.
There it is.
Rosa-sama, you don't mean to say that was Canon-kun, do you? I do. We're all fully aware of the state Jessica-chan was in right before she was killed. After seeing her parents' tragic bodies, Jessica-chan was very panicked. It's easy to imagine that after she regained her composure, she'd be in a horrible slump. It would be very understandable if Jessica's frame of mind led her to shut herself up alone in her room. And those particulars match with Goda-san's story. Jessica-chan said to leave her alone, then Canon-kun, who is of a similar age and who may have some adolescent relationship with her,
It wasn't adolescent. Okay, maybe it was.
said to leave this matter in his hands.
I'm in the flashback, so I get to talk for a little bit.
That feeling is also very understandable. Goodbye, you're dead again.
Oh, shit. Oh, bugger me.
So, for that reason, I think Jessica-chan welcomed Canon-kun into her room. But what if it had been Goda-san or Kumasawa-san? Would she have let them into her room?
Well, I believe that I have gained milady's trust. I think you should definitely count me among the possible murderers here. But even so,
Oh, then I guess you're still a suspect after all, Goda-san. Stand in front of my gun, please. I assumed Jessica-chan probably didn't like you very much, so I didn't think she would have let you into her room.
I do love the big difference here that instead of Natsuhi taking charge and then just trying to, like, continually play, catch up and try to keep everyone safe, Rosa-san here is on the offensive. At least in her own mind.
I was convinced that you couldn't possibly be the culprit, but maybe I was mistaken.
oh no, I am sad to say that may not have been accepted by milady. What about you, Kumasawa-san?
We are far too separated by age to understand the feelings of a young person like Milady very well. And for the same reason, perhaps Milady never opened up her heart to us. Right, Goda-san?
Yeah, that's right. It would have been quite difficult for her to open her heart to the likes of us. It would be inconceivable for my lady to let us into her room when she was grieving.
Goda-san and Kumasawa-chan each rubbed their hands together, affirming each other with forced smiles on their faces.
Low five.
Low five. Oh, that was very crisp.
It was a truly unpleasant rondo.
So, it was a person who might be allowed to enter Jessica-chan's room while she was grieving. Person who might have been given access to her defenseless back, and who had a master key. That only points to one suspect. It was impossible for anyone except Canon-kun. Please, wait. Canon-kun definitely wouldn't do something like... Oh, then is there someone else? Is Goda-san or Kumasawa-san suspicious after all? Who do you think is more suspicious, Shannon-chan? Come on. I could never...
Oh, was it me, Shannon-chan? Oh, yes, it was not me.
Oh, of course it wasn't me either. Oh, the only ones who had the close relationship with my lady were Kanen-san, and after him it was you, right?
Yeah, isn't that right? Jessica-chan might also let Shannon-chan into her room. You were supposedly with Father.
You just said that father can back that up.
But in reality, could you be the culprit?
You just convinced... Okay, I was convinced that she was being methodical about this, but now I think she's just talking herself in circles. I don't think... Like, at the beginning I thought, like, oh, she's being very precise and, like, it's gonna be wrong, but working with what she has, it's very clean. And no, I think she's just looking around for somewhere to point a gun.
It has to point somewhere. Shannon couldn't be the culprit.
We were too busy making out.
Didn't you just say she was doing some important work with Grandfather? Yes, I know. Neither Shannon-chan nor Genji-san is the culprit. Father confirmed that they were together the whole time. Well then, what do you think, everyone?
That's a great question. What do you think? Write your answers in the comments section below. After being told that, no one could respond. Even if someone did manage to argue back, they'd then have to offer the name of a different suspect. No matter who that suspect was, it would have to be someone that was right here. No one could do something like that. Rosa glanced at everyone in turn, fingering the gun like it was a toy.
Fingering the gun.
Please don't. Please don't. That's just in poor taste. That is in more poor taste than these snacks you have bought. I thought these were mixed nuts, but it turns out they're almost entirely cashews. Bernie, if I give you a 20, will you go to the store and get us some more snacks? Make it a 30. But I'm not paying you, I'm just giving you the money to... No, it's 50. She seems so different from the guy Aunt Rosa I knew. No, it's probably because I'm not fully aware of the danger we're in. Maybe Aunt Rosa's attitude would seem natural if I could truly sense the peril surrounding us.
It looks like no one has an onion. Then I'll give you mine.
Hey, do! Would you like an onion? Can I piss an onion through the fourth wall?
I already have one.
Is this
Also, who is this?
I'm not talking to you. Go back to your realm of...
Of course, I can't deny the possibility that Cannon-kun's a victim without a corpse. But until we find that corpse, I certainly can't rule Cannon-kun out as a suspect. There's a chance he'll suddenly appear again, claiming to have been attacked by the culprit and confined somewhere. But take care. Most likely, no, there's no doubt about it. Cannon-kun killed Jessica-chan.
No way.
I can't believe it. Cannon did that to Milady? That's too much. I feel the same as Shannon. I'm opposed to labeling Cannon-kun as the culprit. Then is the culprit Goda-san or Kumasawa-san?
Okay, it is actually... Oh, wait, no, because she's narrowed it down to people with master keys.
People
Okay.
with master keys who
gonna be
work
like-
with Father.
Right. I would say it's really weird that she's not at all trying to, point the finger at the person that they don't know about suddenly showing up. But she's probably already labeled off as like, oh, you can't have Bennett because you don't have a master key.
But also, she did make it clear she had pinpointed the culprit or culprit's accomplice.
Right.
So she probably assumes that Beatrice is working with others.
Okay.
It is a multiple people scenario, and that Cannon is the accomplice.
Got it.
And those two are missing not because they're dead, but because they are the culprits.
That makes sense.
Anyway, tell me who's more suspicious.
Me, it wasn't us. Whoa, my voice, I got a little Kermit the Frog voice in there for.
It is I, Kermit the Frog. That wasn't us.
If it wasn't Cannon-kun, then who could have locked this door? How about it, Shannon-chan? George-kun? Huh? Huh?
Aunt Rosa closed in on Shannon-chan and George Aniki, laughing unpleasantly. Of course they couldn't say anything back. They wanted to believe in Cannon-kun, but if they did, they'd have to suspect the other servants.
Is she possessed by Beato right now?
That actually explains a lot.
It tracks.
It does. I thought that she was just, like, this is just how she was reacting to having to be in this kind of control for the first time. But it makes sense that it could be also Beato trying to play up those anxieties as, like, to an absurd degree.
Maybe.
The simplest culprit was the mystery guest Beatrice, but she was nothing more than a guest and didn't have a master key. So Beatrice is the culprit despite lacking a master key. Then do we have to accept the argument that she really is a witch who locked the door with the power of magic? That's a dirty argument. Dirty, so dirty.
What are you worried about? Make it my fault. You can just make it the fault of the 19th person, the mystery guest, right? If you do, you won't have to watch this ugly battle of humans blaming each other, right?
So then what? The culprit is the 19th person, the guest Beato. She's a witch, so she could lock the door without a key using magic. Are you telling me to accept that? Damn it! Damn it, damn it.
In the last game, I learned all your weak points. So, what will you do? What will you do? You said you definitely wouldn't accept me, right?
No, I will not.
Then, you can use Cannon as the perfect sacrifice that he is. Cannon killed Jessica. If you support Rose's theory, everything is settled here, right? Cannon is already dead. There should be no need to show concern for the dead. And you won't have to suspect anyone in this room.
Damn it! I won't accept you! But Cannon could be the culprit is impossible!
I don't want to suspect anyone. However, at times there's no smoke without fire turns out to be true. Anyway, you can never be too cautious.
Dr. Nanjo.
Shannon, why don't you just tell them that Cannon was in love with Jessica? That might change things.
What do you mean by that?
Please don't misunderstand. I do not wish to label Cannon Sean the culprit. However, until we understand the situation, there is a possibility that he is the culprit. I believe thinking that way is safer.
Yes, that's right. Cannot be too cautious. Oh.
The general consensus certainly didn't seem to find fault with Nanjo for what he said. True, no one actually thought Cannon was the culprit. But unless they suspected him, they'd have to suspect one of the servants here. We didn't want to do that. We didn't want to suspect. We didn't want to be suspected.
That's correct. We cannot be too vigilant. I take it no one objects to that, right? Understand? There's a very high likelihood that these murders are connected to Father's legend of the gold. That means the crime must have been plotted by someone who wants to keep a vast amount of gold, worth several 10 billion yen, all for themselves. With that kind of money, you could play around for the rest of your life in any country. And with a motivation like that, they might even intend to kill all of us.
Well, with money like that, you might be one of the top, maybe 1,000 or so people, richest people in the world. Like, it's a lot, but it's like not a whole lot. You know, it's not a Bezos, is what I'm getting at. I'd kill to be a Bezos.
I'm gonna end that sentence right here.
Yeah.
Because she didn't have a master key, the 19th person, the guest Beatrice, is removed from suspicion for the murder of Jessica Chan alone. But we cannot conclude that she's unrelated to the crime. After all, it's a vast amount of gold we're talking about. We can't deny the possibility that there are multiple culprits. Right now, one of the people here among us, title drop, might have been brought by the culprit.
That is the wrong game to title drop. Also, that game was not out yet at the time of this translation.
Oh, fuck.
As Aunt Rosie yelled, she looked all around, her gun still raised. Don't believe anyone, suspect the person next to you, that's what she was saying. But no one wanted to suspect. They didn't want to suspect anyone here. That weakness in their hearts demanded an answer from those not present.
There are only two ways you can be sure someone isn't a suspect. If it's yourself, or if they're already no more than a corpse. The same goes for Cannon-kun. Until we catch sight of his corpse, he is the most likely suspect in Jessica-chan's murder. So take care. Even if he's still alive, even if he smooths things over with some explanation, you definitely mustn't trust him. Got it?
No one gave an answer of their own initiative. However, those who met Aunt Rose's eyes had to nod their heads. Human beings are beings who live by molding themselves to fit society. Oh, we do live in one of those.
Human beings are mold.
What? No, that's just rude.
We're a type of fungus.
That's rude. Wait, you just called yourself a human. Oh, I win.
Fuck.
Yes, game over. Point battler. Is that it? Do we get to go home now? No, there's still...
Best out of 3.
Oh, okay. In other words, from the time they're born, trusting each other is genetically imprinted on them. It's unpleasant to go against that. They never want to suspect someone. But if they're forced to suspect someone, they find it safest to choose someone who isn't present at that moment. For the purpose of safety and nothing more, they had half-heartedly chose Cannon to be the sacrifice. It's ridiculous. I definitely don't want to believe that Cannon-kun is the culprit. I heard it from George Aniki just now, but not only were those two close in age, he also had that kind of adolescent relationship Aunt Rosa had mentioned. It may be a little late now, but yes, they really did have that kind of air about them. For seeing her parents' tragic corpses, Jessica bearing deep wounds in her heart would only have trusted Cannon-kun. It was very easy to imagine. And that's why I don't like it. Cannon-kun was the only one she trusted, so she wouldn't have let anyone but Cannon-kun in. So Cannon-kun was the only one who could have killed Jessica? I just can't accept that kind of argument.
Understand
Understand?
the concept of love.
Yo!
Even if Cannon-kun appears, don't let your guards down. As long as we cannot prove Cannon-kun's innocence, we will assume that Cannon-kun is the culprit who killed Jessica-chan.
That was Aunt Rosa's claim. By using the vague word assume, she managed to convince everyone in the end. Everyone nodded weakly. With the excuse that they were just assuming it for the time being, they concluded that Cannon was the culprit who killed Jessica. I wonder what the dead Jessica and Cannon would think if they could hear this exchange. Not gonna lie, I think it bloody sucks. Jessica was crying. She was crying into the chest of the person who had put his life on the line to fight for her, Cannon. It was frustrating. So frustrating it felt like her chest would explode. She grieved and resented how far the dignity of the dead had been trampled.
How can those guys treat Cannon-kun like the culprit?
Oh my gosh, I've always wanted to be a false ghost. Oh, hold on, I'm going to try to move things now as if... no, it's not working.
Your hand is inside my, large intestine or something. It doesn't feel great.
Don't worry about it, we're ghosts now. Don't make me turn on the sword again.
Okay.
Because there's no corpse.
How can they treat you like the culprit just because there's no corpse? You risked your life to fight for me, right? Then that witch erased the corpse for fun. For them to call you the culprit after that, it's horrible. It's too horrible.
Does this confirm the existence of an afterlife?
I'm not sure. Our ontological status is deeply unclear right now, Cannon.
That's okay. Do you want to play Magic the Gathering while we wait?
It'll be tough to pick up the cards.
It's okay. I wasn't able to protect you in the end, but I was able to be of use to you in our final minutes.
Why doesn't everyone understand that? Stop it, Aunt Rosa. Don't call Cannon-kun the culprit with that messed up logic.
She isn't saying that I'm the culprit. She's just saying I'm suspicious. No, she's saying to be careful.
She is saying it. These people are saying you're the culprit so they can stop thinking. They aren't thinking about who the culprit who killed me is anymore. They aren't thinking of the possibility that you aren't the culprit. And after this, every time something happens, they'll use the excuse that Cannon-kun did it, since we don't know where he is. I can't stand that.
It's okay. At least you know the truth.
If only I know the truth, that's pointless. My ontological status is deeply unclear.
You did mention that, yes.
I know it after dying. Truth belongs to living humans. As it turns out, I'm a constructivist? This is a new development, really. If the truth doesn't remain, the dead won't be rewarded. They won't know what Cannon-kun risked his life for.
All right, now get back and you got to finish your tasks first. Town can still win on tasks, okay?
Truly a splendid sight. You hardly ever find a sweeter honey than the laments of the dead. I brought you back just so I could laugh about it.
Yes, you would, wouldn't you, Beatrice?
Yeah, I would. Lament. No matter how much you lament, the voices of the dead never reach the living. Oh, fuck.
What?
Am I in a sixth sense scenario?
Is that what this is? Oh no.
Damn it. It doesn't matter who. Hear my voice. Cannon-kun isn't the culprit. Cannon-kun's corpse was just erased. Why? Why don't you understand that?
Milady.
I can't stand this. It's too sad. I hate it. This way, it's like Cannon-kun died for nothing, right? The honor of the dead means nothing unless it's acknowledged by the living. It doesn't matter who. Notice it. Notice it, please. Cannon-kun isn't the culprit. Don't go. Don't go, everyone. Please, don't let it end like this. Don't go. Don't go.
Rosa announced that this room would be sealed until the police came. The rest didn't want to suspect each other, so they happily accepted that. For now, they accepted that Cannon was the culprit. Without even imagining how much disgrace that gave to the dead, they accepted it. Milady, you've done enough. But you still haven't done quite enough yet. Please go finish your tasks. Listen, if the ghosts don't finish the task, then it kind of defeats the whole point. Like, listen, you can walk through walls now. It's very quick.
I'm not very good at the one with the card.
It is very difficult. I can give you a hand if you like.
Don't go. Don't go, everyone. I'm begging you, come back. Don't leave us behind like this. Don't keep treating Cannon-kun as the culprit.
You might say that their conclusion was non-canon.
It won't reach. The laments of the dead never reach. You make me laugh, yes. That face of yours makes me laugh. Did you think your voice would reach them? It won't reach, will it, Jessica? It's all useless. Wait.
It's all useless. Is that Battler?
Yeah. Pursuit Cornered kicks in.
If this isn't Pursuit Cornered, you tell me what it is.
Huh? Battler-kun, did you say something?
Yeah, it's useless. It's all useless. Just as everyone was about to leave the room, Battler stood alone with his back to them, still looking down at Jessica's corpse.
What do you mean it's all useless?
Didn't you hear the Pursuit theme kick in? Come on now.
Do you have some objection?
You better believe I do. I agree that we gotta stay on our guards, but sorry, I'm not buying all that about Cannon-kun being the culprit.
Oh.
There you go.
So you're speaking up at a time like this. If Cannon wasn't the culprit, and it wasn't my doing, how do you explain this closed room that Jessica's room has become?
To be honest... Oh, Bill, what was wrong with my voice there? To be honest, I don't even have a clue on that point. Seriously, why'd I have to go and say it's all useless? Guess I'd better take responsibility for my own words. I'm empty-headed with zero weapons to argue with, but I'm not gonna sit around on the sidelines anymore. Pietro! God, this is so good! Why is the music in this game so awesome?
Is there some proof that Cannon-kun isn't the culprit?
The expression that rose to those two faces was definitely one of anticipation. I don't know, let me check the court record real quick. They didn't want to believe that Cannon was the culprit. They really believed in Cannon. So they were expectant because they wanted me to strengthen their belief in him even more.
Then, Battler-kun, which of the other servants do you suspect? Goda-san, or is it Kumasawa-san?
Quit it, Aunt Rosa. I know the person called Kumasawa Bachan well. She'll sometimes slack off while on the job, but she always makes things fun for people. Even if her eyes were dazzled by money, she isn't the kind of person who'd kill for it.
Ooh, Battler-sama.
And I just met Goda-san yesterday. Honestly, I still don't really understand him. There's something I do understand. I've never seen anyone who cooks as happily as he does. He's the same. Same as Kuwasama Bachan. Goda-san likes to make people happy. As if a person like that could kill those two who praise his own food as delicious, even if money was involved up in front of him.
Then, who do you think killed Jessica-chan, Battler-kun? Who do you think shut Jessica up in a room that could only be locked by a master key?
Wait. Before we argue about that, there's something I want to make clear. I don't want to talk about if so-and-so is not the culprit, then so-and-so must be the culprit. I want to talk about how it's completely impossible for Cannon to be guilty.
You say you can prove that Cannon isn't the culprit? How?
Have you not heard the music kick in? It's actually pretty simple. There's something I almost overlooked. Beato! Repeat it! If you can say it, try saying it! Cannon-kun had a master key on him!
Huh? Cannon-kun doesn't have a master key on him? How could you possibly know that?
A short while ago, I heard from Goto-san about what happened. About how Jessica went to raid the VIP room, right before she and Cannon-kun went off on their own. Goto-san, you did a good job remembering it. Protected Cannon's honor.
I did?
I heard him say the same thing, but I don't really understand. Could you explain it, Battler-kun?
That's right! When Jessica unlocked the VIP room, she borrowed the key from Cannon-kun but didn't give it back. So Cannon-kun doesn't have a master key on him.
Is that really so? True, Goda has no recollection of the master key being returned to Cannon. However, she might have returned it when Goda wasn't looking. How does that prove that it definitely didn't happen? If you could just search the pocket of Cannon's corpse, you'd be able to say for sure, but you can't.
You had to check Jessica's corpse?
It's impossible to prove.
It's all useless. It's actually pretty simple, isn't it?
No way. So, you're saying that's why Cannon-kun didn't have a key on him?
Yeah. And to prove it, all you have to do is search Jessica. Cannon-kun's master key should be in Jessica's pocket. Dr. Nanjo, would you check for us? Nanjo dashed up to Jessica, searching her jacket pocket. Everyone was expectant. Please, be there. Yes. That is a master key, without a doubt. At Genji's statement, there was a small ooh of joyful voices. That's Cannon-kun's master key. I'll say it again. Cannon-kun doesn't have a master key on him, so there's no way he could have locked the door.
It certainly does appear that way. But Cannon-kun was the last person to meet Jessica-chan. The fact that he's suspicious hasn't changed.
Let's give that stuff a rest.
Huh?
Fundamentally, humans are supposed to be creatures that trust each other. But because we live in a tough world, we learn how to be deeply suspicious. So we suspect everything. We're sad creatures. I won't deny that's our nature. But the one thing I won't let you do is reach conclusions without proof. If someone looks suspicious, that doesn't make them guilty, it makes them innocent. Of course the world is filled with wolves. I'm saying you should carelessly believe everyone. But if you're going to conclude that someone's guilty, you better have some perfect evidence. Unless you do, you don't go around accusing them based on speculation.
That's...
I can't believe it actually is Ace Attorney now. This is actually just Ace Attorney.
Right before we started recording, I told you, oh my god, Ushiromiya Battler is just Phoenix Wright.
Oh my god, he's like Phoenix. He is just.
I'll say it in red.
Can you?
Yes,
Say
I
it
can.
in red if you. Oh my god, how would that change the Phoenix Wright? Actually, the Phoenix Wright games already have kind of a very neat way of being able to change, because Nick, we haven't gotten there yet. Oh, you don't know about that. Subscribe to patreon.com/APR to watch our Patreon exclusive Let's Play of Ace Attorney. And you too might be able to help unlock the next episodes, where we learn what I'm talking about. It's pretty great. Oh, sorry, I thought I heard someone shilling their Patreon account for a moment there. I was the one who brought up there's no smoke without fire. That was careless of me. I apologize.
Battler-sama. Oh, wonderful reasoning, Battler-kun. Thank you too, Goda-san. Because of what you remembered, Cannon-kun's been cleared from suspicion.
No,
Snaps in half. It was the crisp sound of the witch applauding.
Well done, well done. Not a bad job.
Crap! Did I fall for that bait piece just like you wanted?
You magnificently proved that Cannon at least couldn't lock the door to this room. The servants should all have had master keys. With that as proof, Cannon was treated as the culprit, but you've at least managed to clear away that suspicion.
In that case, how did the culprit who killed Jessica lock the door? So that's the problem we have now. They got drawn into exactly the flow you wanted.
I got you, didn't I? Furthermore, you said something outrageous about not doubting any of the other servants. Well then, I can't wait to see how you try to smooth that over.
She is controlling Rosa, because then she's going to make sure to provoke Rosa to go argue in exactly that same direction. Shut up. Let's start right away. You'll probably just deny it anyway, but first let's check the definition of this room as a closed room.
Very well. First, there are absolutely no types of hidden doors. This door is the only way in or out. The only way to lock this door is with Jessica's single key or the master keys, only one of which is held by each servant. It is on the second floor, but it is probably possible to enter or leave through the window. However, the window is locked from the inside.
I can spin the chessboard around already. If I start by arguing about the door and the lock, I'll probably be stuck dancing on the palm of your hand.
Do as you like. Well then, what should I repeat?
Repeat it. Cannon-kun was killed in this room.
Very well. Cannon was killed in this room.
I said Cannon-kun. You can't even respect the dead.
As a rule, no. But I erased his corpse with magic, right?
Wait, no, that actually gives him an out. Because that means whoever killed him had to have also then left the room. Right? Yeah. Again, repeat it. Cannon-kun's corpse is in this room.
I refuse. I can't repeat it. Because I erased the corpse with magic.
Yeah, figures you wouldn't say that. There's gotta be a secret hidden in there somewhere. Damn, where's the mysterious point I've gotta find? Did they lock it without the master key? Did they somehow kill those two while they were inside the room and it was locked? Did they kill those two then somehow escape? Hate to say it, but I'll have to cover up the moat first. Repeat it. The last time it was locked was due to a master key.
I also refuse that.
This refusing thing is really vague. I don't know if you refuse because it's impossible to repeat or whether you can repeat it and you're refusing on purpose.
Back when discussing the lock to the chapel, you completely turned the tables on me.
She doesn't have to. Oh, that's harsh.
Yep. When I have an advantage, there's no need to go out of my way to use red when it might be risky. That's all it is.
I guess that makes sense. Originally, the point of the red was to counter my strange theories.
Naturally, I'll use it in a way that works to my advantage. Now that I know I've got to worry about you twisting it around, I won't use it pointlessly. Well then, what move will you use next? I imagine a move placing suspicion on Goda or Kumasawa will be easiest, yes?
Damn. Feels like you're leading me by the nose and it pisses me off. Stay quiet a bit, I'm thinking. Whoa!
Blah, 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 blah.
Whoa,
You
no,
can't
I
think.
forgot my voice!
You can't think, you
Oh,
can't
no.
think, I be loud. Blah! I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you.
Why are you like this? Birdie, she's touching me! Birdie, help me! No. Some help you are! You gonna read your line, or?
Oh, for some reason I thought that was Battler's line. Of course, this door is the same as the chapel. When locked, it does not permit any form of entry. I'll say more. No trick could have the effect of locking the door from the outside without using a key.
Tush! Damn you for always using red when I don't ask for it! Time to step back to square one. For now, I've just gotta think. I'll lay out everything I know. First, there are two victims. Jessica and Cannon-kun. Cannon-kun's corpse isn't here, but Beatrice admitted in red that Cannon-kun was killed. So even without a corpse, she's included as a victim. There are a few questionable points. Depending on which I focus on, my line of thought changes a lot. First, after the culprit committed murder in this room, how did they lock it? We assume the culprit is someone with a master key. It's extremely simple. But I'd like to avoid that if I can, because I'd have to suspect Goda-san or Kumasawa-san. Maybe even Shannon-chan and Genji-san. Here I noticed something. I was contradicting myself. I was strangling my own neck. want to deny Beatrice no matter what. I want to erase the existence of that brutal, fickle, ridiculous witch. So I have to explain everything with humans, not magic. That also means suspecting someone human. I don't want to suspect anyone. Of course, if there's some clear proof, I'll have to believe the person in question is the culprit. But until that happens, I don't want to suspect people. Am I just naive?
Yeah.
Am I just a kid who doesn't want to have my feelings betrayed? And this feelings tell me this person could at least never commit murder? I want to deny that a witch did it, and I also want to deny that a human did it. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. That's a good point. What exactly is it that you're arguing anyway?
Yeah. Like, it seems like there's a number of pretty solid explanations, as long as Battler-kun doesn't care about throwing suspicion on innocence.
Right. And the thing is, he knows it's Beato.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why not just use Beato as your scapegoat then? Like the one who placed herself in the game.
Because they at least from what they know now, know it could not have been her.
Right.
So I guess presumably Beato set it up like this specifically because she knows Battler doesn't want to suspect any of his friends and family members, and is like, well, hey, here's an easy out to deny me as long as you become like me.
Yeah.
And start doing things that are knowingly cruel and harm innocence.
Exactly.
In the first place, the only victory condition in our game was whether or not you could deny my existence. Even though that alone puts you at a disadvantage, you've increased the number of victory conditions all by yourself, making your own victory harder.
It's just as she says. If only I didn't have to play on pacifist mode. If I just argue that someone with a master key did it, this closed room can be broken easily. However, the number of keys that can open this door is limited, and since it's clearly known who has them, using that argument means I'd be suspecting someone I know well. In fact, have I just been averting my eyes from the truth? Even while attacking that closed room trick in the chapel, which is exhilarating to destroy, I propose that someone stole the key from Maria's handbag and returned it. If that theory is right, then the question becomes who could have stolen the key from her handbag. Maria's handbag was probably most unguarded while she slept. In that case, in addition to me, George, Aniki, and Jessica are also suspects. So George, Aniki, or Jessica is the culprit? Or maybe an accomplice? All of our parents have been killed, right? And yet one of us consented to that and assisted with the crime? We all lamented more and shed tears together in the chapel. Yet one among us was lying.
Title drop.
I keep telling you that's the wrong game!
It's not, though. This is just Among Us for witches. After a couple thousand years, you get bored with the regular mode and have to just create whole new realities full of unwilling test subjects.
Have you tried installing the proximity chat mod? I hear it greatly increases the longevity of the gameplay.
And that theory of yours about taking the key out of the handbag and putting it back cast a pronounced suspicion on the cousins, did it not? And despite that, you acted like you didn't even notice, announcing a theory like that so happily.
Damn it. That doesn't guarantee that one of the family or the servants is the culprit. You snuck up on us while hiding in a cardboard box, for example. Just like my friend, Raiden. There's a good chance you could have snuck into our room when we were fast asleep and stole the key, right?
Okay, now I'm really hoping someone has done fan art of Beato sneaking around Solid Snake style in the cardboard box.
Oh,
and
yes.
if they have and I haven't found it, please put it in the comments.
Oh man, just imagine your secret.
It's like, magic, you can't see me.
Do. Do.
Perhaps that will do for that situation. By suspecting the guest, the 19th person, you won't have to suspect the others. In that case, how was Jessica's room locked? It's no trouble at all for me to open the lock with magic, but, of course, I don't have a master key. If you deny my magic, you also have to deny that I'm a suspect, correct? So in other words, that means suspecting one of the 18.
He can still suspect you, just as a human, not a witch.
Well, the idea being, can he have reason to? at the moment. Can he have an explanation that puts her at fault for this latest murder?
Well, I mean, he hasn't... Well, I mean, why is she removing herself from the people that could be suspected, if not her specifically? Because she's still among the people on the island.
Mm-hmm.
If all he comes to is a conclusion that it has to have been one of these other people on the island, she's still included in that.
So I think they've moved on to the most recent murder.
Gotcha. But still...
Because for the first one, clearly it could have been her. But for this most recent one, it's not apparent there's any way it could have been, unless she's a witch.
Right. Oh yeah, thanks for the help. I managed to sort things out a bit. My goal is to figure out how the 19th person, the human guest Beato, committed the crimes. If I do that, I won't have to suspect anyone. Oh, wow. Yeah, why do I bother thinking my theories out loud? The game will just come to the same conclusion in like a paragraph or two.
But that's the point. If we get there first, that's how we win.
Do you hear those voices? Who are those people talking? Come out, you fools!
If you can do that, foolish man.
I was gonna say, you put yourself on the board, Beato.
This wasn't a closed room from the beginning. After all, there are a total of 6 keys that can open it. And several people possessed such keys. You can suspect any of them. Suspect as much as you like. But you went to all the trouble of denying all of them, making it a closed room yourself. Understand? This is a closed room born from your mental contradiction.
It's a habit of mine. I can't not do it.
You and no one else sealed that door.
So you tried to say I've got 2 options, except that a witch opened it with magic or except that someone I knew was the culprit. Damn, are you trying to fork the rook?
I'm going to pretend I know what that means and say yes.
Birdie taught me about it.
I just wanted to show you that moves such as this can exist as well.
She also taught me the bong cloud. You want to play chess sometime? I'm pretty okay at it.
Sure.
It's pretty okay.
So, what will you do, Ushiromiya Battler? Isn't it actually simple? Don't you just have to make sacrifices of that overly self-confident cook, and that hag who wouldn't be a loss if she died?
Damn it! If I suspect Goto-san and Kumasawa-san, everything will be fine? That's useless! I can't think of Goto-san as the culprit, can't think of Kumasawa-san as the culprit, but I won't accept you, no matter what!
In that case, they'd have to enter the room without using magic or a master key. Kill Jessica and Cannon, and even erase Cannon's corpse without using magic.
Not really.
We know how they could get the corpse out, because we know there is a window. One could enter and leave by it, presumably with some difficulty, as it's only the 2nd floor, and it locks from the inside, not the outside. So if they managed to get in and do the murders in the first place, we can figure out how they could escape with the corpse, as well as have the key placed in the room. By leaving, hiding Cannon's corpse, having the key with them, locking the door, coming back around. That doesn't work. They'd have to lock the window from the inside.
Yep.
Damn it.
I'm just assuming that they're just taking Cannon's body with them when they leave.
Yeah. Well, that was my theory as well, but I thought I had a way that made it make sense how they could have the room be locked still.
Yeah, not quite though.
That doesn't work. If the window had been unlocked...
Yep.
But it's not.
I mean, you could still pitch it out the window to make it easier on yourself than lock it. But either way, what it comes down to is that they're leaving the room with a key.
But the key is inside.
They're leaving a room with a key, but either the key is inside or the key is now in possession of one of the servants. So then the question is, how'd they get it back to where they borrowed it from?
They could have...
Or how'd they get it into the room?
They could have stolen Kumasawa's key because she slept in. If the murders were done while she was sleeping, and the key was in her possession when she woke up, then she'd be a scapegoat for the real culprit.
Oh, that's
but that
good.
depends on timing. We don't know the timing.
Yeah, and no, but she slept in because but she was awake by the time the...
When did the murders happen precisely, and when did her wakefulness
They had to have happened after the chapel because everyone saw Jessica at the chapel.
Why is the chapel relevant?
When everyone got up in the morning to go to the chapel,
Right, it's still the same day.
Jessica was there
Yep.
at that time,
Yep.
and everyone saw her there. So the time is very narrow.
Okay. Well, I'll ponder it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll all come up in like 5 minutes. How could it be done? How could it be done so that you can deny me while still not suspecting anyone else?
Imagine if you tried this about it, it's just like, okay, it was Gouda. I have no problem throwing them under the bus.
I'm sure we'll get there. I'm sure we'll get there.
Right? I resign.
Huh? Battler-kun, what did you say?
I give up. I was able to prove that Ken couldn't unlock this door. That doesn't mean I've managed to figure out who killed Jessica.
No, that's more than enough. For Canon-kun's sake, thank you very much.
No need to thank me. After all, this means you're under suspicion too, Stan-chan. And sorry, Aunt Rosa. It's not like I wanted to resist you. I don't want to die, and I don't want to find Dad, and I want to find Dad and the rest is true enemy. Sorry for saying something that wasn't cooperative.
No, it's okay. I was also a little rash. Let's make up.
Yeah, just like Moon Prism Power. Right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
How come no one else watches... Come on, Maria, let's go back and watch more Sailor Moon.
As an aunt and nephew, we have to stay on good terms.
Do we, though? Like, do you even like me? Like, actually, honestly. Honestly, I don't know if I care for you that much.
Right?
You're all right, I guess, but... Aunt Rosa shifted the gun to one hand and held out her other. I reached out, and for the time being, we shook hands. Aunt Rosa's gaze was sharp. In order to deny the witch, she would sacrifice anyone. That's what her eyes told me. And me? I denied the witch, but I wasn't prepared to lose anything. I was probably the one who seemed to be fighting the most, and yet, the one who was most separated from reality. Damn! Shit's getting good!
Yeah.
I love this! Is your body ready for more?
Think so.
Awesome. Well, join us next time when we, I don't know what happens after this. We'll find out.
Probably more murder pranks.
Probably more murder pranks. It'll be a fun time, I promise. Bye.
Bye.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.